Hello and welcome to my live today. Thank you so much for joining me. My name's Jenny McCormack. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the market town of Brackley in the UK. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're joining me live, please do say hi so that I know that you're there. And with the design today, if you want to craft along, you're absolutely welcome to. All you need are some, ideally, Christmas papers, but you could practice with any papers. And you want those to be cut into squares of ascending or descending size. So these are actually, I think, I've measured these in inches, so 5 inches, 4.5, 4, 3.5 and 3. I'm going to start with the larger one because I thought that'd make it easier for you, and then we can go smaller. So if you want to give this a go, it's actually based on a teabag folding design. Teabag folding's been around for many years. And I saw this design by Lisa Curcio, and Lisa is a fantastic American demonstrator. You can find her by searching for Lisa Curcio, and it's Curcio, and I'll put a link in the description after the live has finished. And she came up with this brilliant idea, which is to make some Christmas trees using a tea bag folding recipe, if you like. And these are getting progressively smaller, so you can make them as big or as small as you want, and that just depends on the size of the paper that you start with. Now I prepared this card, so I'm actually going to pop this tree onto this card. But what I'll do is create another tree with these pieces here. This is perfect to use with the papers that we've got here from the Curvy Christmas set. So I will just leave a minute for people to join us. Hi Brenda. And I will get this ready to go. I brought some brown card in to do the tree trunk, and I can just hear my dog rifling in something, so I'm just going to check and see what it is. What you got? Oh. It's fine. She's got a finished crisp packet that she was licking out. So Brenda, hi, thanks for joining us. So here we go. So this is nice and easy, I promise you. You only need to do 1 or 2 and you'll have it sussed. So this is something you could do with young children, as long as they're dexterous enough to be able to fold things in half. Then you're good to go. So let me show you. So that's going to be our finished card, which I'll do in a minute. So all week we've concentrated on the new Curvy Christmas and quite curvy stamp set and the matching dies. So today, although I've used the papers for this, I also had some of these papers to use up, so I'm going to use these ones. And it works particularly well if you've got alternate colours, but of course you could do the tree all in one colour, of course. I'm looking at that to see if that's... It is square, it's the dots that make it look unsquare. How weird is that? Okay, so we're going to start with the largest one. So this will work really any size, as long as you have a square to start with. Hi Tracy. So it doesn't matter obviously which side. You'll end out with one side that you'll see all the way through, so you can decide at some point which side you want to use. And all we're going to do to start with is fold this in half across the centre like so, and I would recommend a bone folder. Mine seem to have all gone walkabout, so I'm just going to use this block here, save me hunting for it. So we're just going to fold that in half, open it up and fold it the other way, and like many tea bag folds, this is how they often start, like so. And if you want to make it really fluid, you can fold it both ways, and then you'll find it creases really, really well. Once you've done a few, you may not need to do this. So I don't know if either of you, Brenda or Tracy, are crafting as we go along. Do let me know if you are and how you get on. Then we're going to fold it across the diagonal. Okay, again to the other side. And although it's nice to have this exact, it's not 100% critical if it, you know, if you've got a little bit, like here I've got a little bit showing. It's really not the end of the world. So there's that one, and then the other way. So basically we folded it 4 times, one each across the diagonal like that and that, and one each top and there. Okay, now it's at this point, before you do the next bit, that you need to decide if you want this as which side you want as the outside. I really want the red as the outside, so I'm going to turn this over. Okay, and all that we're going to do is have the line straight across the middle horizontally. Okay, folding that up, and then we're going to push these 2 lines into this center here, like so, and then flatten this one down like that, so you end up with a triangle that way round. Okay, so let me show you that again. So you want the line going across ways. Okay, obviously it doesn't matter which way that is. Okay, you just don't want it that way round. So you want the flat side top and bottom. Bring this one to the bottom, this one to the bottom, and then fold the top down. Now sometimes you'll have to, if it's not really accurate, you have to give it a little bit of a helping hand. Okay, but you'll end up with that shape, like so. Okay, that is fine. Well, you can, if you need to do it tomorrow, and you can obviously re-watch the replay or watch it on YouTube. And then the only second part of it, which is really easy, is to take this piece here, take the slanted edge, diagonal edge, and fold it to the middle. And again, it's really much better with a bone folder, but the edge of a block will do the job. And we're going to do the same with this one. Take the edge and fold it into the middle, and get it as tight as into the middle as you can. Doesn't matter if you've got a little bit of a gap, like so. Okay, and that is the basis of our tree. Okay, and if you look here, all we're going to do is make smaller and smaller ones and stack them on top of each other, and because each one is smaller, it will just sit on top. Okay, so I'll just make a few more. Let's put that one there. So I'll take the next one down. So you can make these really quite small if you're quite dexterous. Now I would recommend only doing these with paper, not with card. Card will be much too thick. All right, so let me do that again. I might put this checker side out. So fold it up like that. Okay, turn it, unfold it, so corner to corner with the flat side, like so. And then corner to corner on the diagonal. Like that. That way and that way. Okay, so fold it out so you've got the flat side, okay, and then you're just going to bring these two in and then flatten the other one. And the more accurate they make the creases and the sharper you make the creases, the easier that is to go in together. Now you could, if you wanted to, actually just do layers like that and stack them on top of each other. That would work, even like so. But if you want the full version, then you're going to fold this down the centre line. Just gives a little bit more interest, like so. And so you can make these quite big, and you could also make them as tree decorations or just decorations generally, and you could actually put two lots back to back so that you've got this on both sides. If I turn it over, that's the flat side, so that's what you would get if you didn't do the extra fold. Okay, but with this nice extra fold you get that effect. Okay, so you can tuck that one on top, just put it in that little sort of back section, and you can push them right down if you want to and build it up that way, or you can give yourself a little bit more of a gap in between each one, and then you'll obviously get a bigger tree. So let me carry on with some more. Now what I recommend you do, if you don't want it too puffy like this, is add some glue under here and some glue under here to flatten this down, if that makes sense. So let me do that. So just that front piece on either side. Oops, nearly got a bit carried away there. So amongst this flap, and then on the inside of here, 1 and 2, like so. And then what I recommend doing is either putting a punch or something on top, or if you've got some to hand, bulldog clips or pegs. Depends on what you've got to hand really. So I could put that one down there, for example. That might be better. Like so. Okay, let's glue this one in the same way. So this is just to keep it folded nicely, but if you're doing it as a tree decoration, you might need to leave it quite open. Hope you can see that okay. I haven't got my phone with me to see what it's doing. There we go. See if I can find another. Oh, I found another peg. Oh, a proper closed peg this time. There we go. Alright, and then I'm just going to go down in size. So as I say, you can make them quite small. What am I going to have? Now, on the stripes, if you look at this one, the stripes, because we're turning it over, go in different directions. Okay, so these are in the same direction and then these are different. So if you don't like that mismatch of patterns, choose something that's an all over design. So we've got stars here, we've got the gingham, we've got this houndstooth check. Okay, so let's not do the stripes then that way. So what do you think? Have you seen this one before? I mean, teabag folding has been around many years. I'm pretty sure it originated from Holland, or Germany. I might have that wrong. There we go. So as I say, bone folder or block, or back of a knife or a spoon, anything like that would do. And then fold these two in and flatten that out. Now, if you have a layer like this that you're not happy with, obviously haven't cut it or I haven't scored it very accurately, then look on the other side in case that's a better side. And if it isn't, then just trim off that excess bit there. Okay, it's all open edges there, so you're not going to cut into any folds, I promise. Okay, and then let's fold this one down. So this is perfect where you've got, even if you've got one sheet of paper, like a 12 by 12, that had two different coloured sides, you could cut them and then just keep swapping them over. So do a 6 by 6, a 5.5, a 5 and a 4.5, for example, or just make it even smaller than that and get even more layers. So let's add a bit more glue. So I hope everybody has had a good week. It's bitterly cold out there today here in Brackley. I know quite a lot of places have had snow. They threatened us with snow, and it's cold enough for it to snow, but nothing as yet. Okay, so I'm just doing those 4 bits of glue just to keep them nice and flat, and then you'll see that you have one piece there, which is where the sections will go together. Okay, and then at the front you've got all the folds, so that keeps, that will keep out of the way. Let's borrow these clips from here. Just going to do it at a funny little angle like that. So this is going to be that one, this one, so basically you're folding across all 4 sides, halfway. Has anybody else joined us? I can't tell. Which one haven't I done? That one I have. There we go. And I'm sure there's plenty of other origami and teabag folds that you can use to make ornaments, Christmas ornaments. Okay, so fold those 2 down and that one out. So say, if you wanted just a plain tree, if you felt that the next step was too much for youngsters to do, then just glue that section down like that, leaving one little pocket open for layering your trees. But it is quite nice with the extra layer, I have to say. That's 1 and 2, and ideally you want those creases nice and tight. and then when you put the tree together, the lines should run all the way down. They don't necessarily on mine, just about. It's a little bit higgledy-piggledy, but it is handmade after all. Okay, so that's the next one. Let's put a bit of glue onto that one. So say behind this fold, like that, and inside the fold. And I'm just using wet glue. You could use snail or seal or glue dots. You could even use tape. Be a little bit more fiddly getting the tape in there, but you could use tape. Right, which one do we have next? This one here, I think. So you can see how they're getting slightly smaller each time, like so. So this is the next one, like that. Let's do another one. So this one is 3 inches to give you an idea of the sizing. So fold across that way, fold across that way. This would be quite good to do sat in front of the television, wouldn't it? Okay, I think I've got all 4 there. Soon find out. Yep. If you folded them well, then it will just literally fold in on itself. Like that. And then here's the fold down the centre. So once you've worked out the first one, that's the hardest one, and they're quite simple after that. I'll say that was 3 inches, didn't I? Yeah, so effectively, yes, of course, that length is the edge. So a little bit of glue on either side. So my email for the December class in a box went out yesterday. Thank you, Tracy. I've received your order and everything. Much appreciated. And it is a bumper one this time, so you're getting plenty in there. Plus you'll get one of the first to get the new spring summer catalogue for 2021 and our celebration brochure as well. Right, I think I want one smaller one, so let me see what have I got here. Let's cut this to 2 inches. So long as you've got a square, this might be better. This is 2.5, that's perfect. So I've been punching out trees, as you can see. So 2.5. Let me just check that that is as good as. A tiny sliver, literally sliver difference. Let me just see if anybody else has joined us. Oh, I beg your pardon. Oh, lovely, Lenny, thank you. Oh, and Carol, popping in while you cook. Well done, Carol, with an E. Perfect. Sorry, ladies, it didn't pop up with the little bar to show me there were more messages. So let's see what order we've got here, here, there. I'm going to do another of these dotty because I really do like them. So not sure when Lynn and Carol joined us, but starting with squares, folding it that way, folding it that way, folding across the diagonal like so. And that way. And once you've done this, you can decide which side you want facing out. I'm going to have the dotty side. So you open that up and then bring this mid piece down, the other mid piece down, and then fold that into a triangle like so. And then if you want the decorative bit, you fold that piece along the centre line. If you've already seen that and I just repeated it, then I apologise because I wasn't sure at what point you ladies had arrived. There we go. So that's going to be our top piece. And so if you want to flatten this down, a bit of glue behind the flap on either side. Okay. And then a bit of glue inside the flap on either side. And I really do like wet glue for that because it really does takes a minute or two to stick, but once it's stuck it's really nice and secure. So I'm just going to pop that one on there. And so these can go together really when you've got as many as you want to make your tree. So the smaller one goes on top of the larger one. Now you can push them right the way down if you want, but it'll take a lot more layers to build up your tree. But that is bigger, isn't it? Yes. Make sure you're putting it in the folds behind. So there's like a clean fold behind if you haven't glued it too much. Like so. So, and this is the one I've just done. Like so. So you can build it up like that, but to get a quicker, taller tree, what you're going to do is spread these out so that you've got a gap between each one. Like so, like so, like so. And obviously you can, you know, keep building this down. So this one at the bottom, I think, was 5 inches. Yes. So you could do a 6 by 6 one at the bottom, and that would still give you a really nice tree. Okay, so to attach these together, all I would do is, doing them one at a time, just put some glue on the back of the one that's going up inside. You could do the front as well. I don't know why I'm only doing the back really. And then just take your time to get it, you know, however far up you want your tree, and try and keep these roughly in line. Now I haven't been really accurate with mine, as you can see, but I don't think that matters. It just adds to the the nature of it. Okay, going to pop some glue on the back of here. Now, to actually speed up the glue sticking, if you allow that to sit for 30 seconds or so, it begins to go slightly tacky, and it will then grab onto the card much quicker than if you just put it straight onto the card, because the air gets to it, and then you'll find it holds quicker. And you can use your lines on your patterns to line them up. There's that one. Okay, and if you're doing a lot, then grab a heavy punch. Just put that on top. Okay, while you're getting the next one ready. So actually, I think putting it together takes longer than most of the folding does. Okay, but those are nicely stuck. Now what you could do is double these up and have one on the front and one on the back, and feed some ribbon through. So if you imagine this was the same size on here, stick them together with some ribbon through. You could even, if you were feeling brave, because these are already scored down the middle, actually fold them and have 3 folded back to back, if that makes any sense, so that you've got one attached here and one attached here, so you've actually got 3 going round. For my purposes, I'm just happy with that layer. I just think they're so sweet. As I say, not my original at all. Completely taken from Lisa Curcio. I think that's how you pronounce it. Curcio. A very well-known, very talented Stampin' Up demonstrator. I think in America. I'm trying to think she's not Canada. Now, obviously, you could add a star to the top of this if you wanted to. And for a smaller one, you could pop it on the card. This one for me is going to be a decoration for my tree. Or I might take it down to hummingbirds as a decoration for their tree. Okay, so just give it time to dry. Obviously, I'm doing it fairly promptly, so that I'm not making you sit and watch and wait too long. So as I say, I've just put it on the back. You could put it on the front as well. Really, the minimum amount of glue. You don't want to come out covered in glue. Ink maybe, but not glue. There we go. So as this is getting towards the top, this is obviously getting quite thick. So just going to pop those on there while that sits in place. It's a little bit wonky too, but never mind. So just to show you this one here, here's one I made earlier. This is my practice one that I did yesterday, and I love these colours from the Curvy Christmas papers. So I was thinking, I've got some brown card. This is actually, it's not actually early espresso, it's an old colour, chocolate chip. So this has got a slight sort of red tone to it. So I'm not sure what width I need of that. So daisy. And you could put this through the wood grain embossing folder. It's called Pinewood. This is the current one, but if you've got one of the old ones, that would work too. So I will do that before I mount it. And I'm thinking that would just tuck in there, as much or as little of that as you want to see. And affix that like so. And then the final touch would be to put a Christmas sentiment on, and I've got one here somewhere. Oops. So I've got, this might be a bit big actually. So I'm going to pop this through the embossing folder. Okay, a little bit big. And then maybe pop that on the bottom. Just bringing this tree down. So the first one of these, just to give you an idea, for fitting a card was 3.5 inches. So you don't really, for an A6 card, you don't really want your starting one to be more than 3.5 inches, because even, yeah, it's too tall that way, isn't it? Unless you put these closer together. Okay, and then that can go on the bottom, or you could have a wider sentiment across there. There we go. And then you could add a star at the top as well if you want to do. If you've got our star dies, you could put a little gold star. So there we go. I hope that's still running. Slightly worried that it isn't, but hopefully it is. Oh yes, it is. So I hope you like my little Christmas trees. So as I say, you could use one for a card, and for this one what I'm going to do is put a little bit of ribbon through there on the back and hang that up as a tree decoration. So there we go. I hope you like that. I hope it's given you some ideas. Certainly if you've got Christmas paper left over, then these would make great decorations. Make sure you've done all your Christmas cards first though. But these papers I think work particularly well. But anything where you've got a contrast of colours, in my personal opinion, rather than all the same. But there's been nothing to stop you using the same piece, especially with something like this set where you've got 4 pieces of the same design. So there we go. That was it. A nice easy fun way to finish the week. I hope you like the design. As I say, I'm going to run that through the embossing folder and either put that one on or maybe a smaller sentiment. Could put one in the centre, but I think it looks better down there. Just to finish that one off. When I've finished it, I'll take a photograph and pop it in the Facebook group, in the Facebook page, and my VIP group as well, so that you can see it. So I hope that you like that. Let me know how you get on if you give it a go. And yeah, if you do give it a go, take a photograph and send it to me. I'd love to see it. I hope everybody has a nice weekend. I've got my card classes this weekend for our November card class in a box. I had to extend it from last weekend because the post so atrocious. Some people's parcels that I posted last Tuesday have only arrived today. So I'll be busy with my classes Saturday and Sunday. So Tracy, I look forward to seeing you at least one of those. And yes, have a nice weekend everybody. Thank you for your lovely comments. And I will catch up with you. I'll be back live on Monday at 10. And I haven't yet planned next week's project, so I shall do that sometime over the weekend. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're interested in the December class in a box, you can review yesterday's Facebook Live, and at the end of that I show you the projects with all the details in them of what the class in a box is. Thank you so much for joining me everybody. I'm going to see Tracy on both days. Wonderful. I look forward to that. Thank you so much for joining me today. Take care everybody. Look after yourselves, look after each other, and stay safe and keep crafting. Thank you so much. Bye bye.